Priya, and we from LTTS, including Dr. Panda, are on the line already. We have joined.
Dr. Panda, good morning. ANP, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Very good morning.
So you guys
Okay,
are two
good evening,
different places,
everyone.
not in the same
Welcome to
place.
this
Then you should have masks.
inaugural of the Nptel
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I request
We are in
Director
different places, Dr. Panda.
Ramurti to inaugurate the studios.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Very lonely business.
Hi, Priya.
Please come, sir. So these are the studios. We have three studios here. They're supported by the class of 1982 and L&T Technology Services. And two of them are classroom studios capable of hosting 100 students each. And one is a virtual studio where faculty can do something with special effects behind them. Enigmatically, they have been named Phi, E, and Phi. So keeping with our traditions in the campus. So that's what we have here. And Phi, the golden
Is
ratio.
notation for golden ratio.
Oh. So
Open the
one second, sir. We are now going to open this. Yes. One second. Here, I'll just ask them to. Yeah. Yes. So one.
So we have
Yeah,
the.
yeah. So, good evening, everyone from L&T Technology Services. We now request you. We request Dr. Keshav Panda, CEO and MD of L&T Technology Services, to please declare the classroom studio supported by L&T and Technology Services. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, Prabhakar. Yeah.
Can you please?
I'm sorry, I didn't get it. What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, can you please declare the studio supported by L&T and Technology Services as open?
Yeah, I declared the studio open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, you could be here, but the next best thing we can have is that you're all watching from wherever you are. So let us.
Thank you very much for your support, sir. We are going to first walk into your studio and you can see visuals from your studio. One, he is just going to go. We are now entering the studio supported by L&T Technology Services. So this is a studio which can seat 100 people, and we have a lot of audio-visual support, plus a green screen there. So when faculty make any presentations, if they have slides, those can be flashed behind them in the video.
Regular class
Plus a studio, yes.
So whenever somebody wants to teach a regular class, it is also an Nptel.
Yes, they can directly record. They can schedule the class here. The students get to see the displays which are up front. Yes, we can just fill it up slot-wise. And the faculty gets to see the display back here so that they can get an idea of what they are seeing, what they are presenting and how it is being presented. And the control room staff can view the classroom from behind that.
Is the air conditioning silent enough?
Yes, it's a little bit out, but they said it is scheduled for it. Yeah.
One big problem is.
So it's got all the professional lighting which can be moved around as necessary based on.
Manually.
Yes, they're manually there to be set.
Don't need to keep moving it. Right?
Yeah, they don't have to be moved around.
There's a blackboard.
No blackboard.
You have to write on a tablet and it gets put on the. A little bit small.
We had the option of a drop-down screen versus this, but this was the largest we could fit in here at the moment. So we have done this for the moment. We'll run it by, a few classes and see. Just open. So we're now going to look at the control room of one of the studios. So this is the control room facility, and so the audio-visual staff can sit here and monitor the recording that's going on and make any changes. Or no, there are more than one camera. So they can do that. Yes, it can go here. They can see multiple things and mix the video as. Sir, I now request you to inaugurate the virtual studio, which is also a Green Mat studio. Next, we'll have them. Mahesh. Dr. Professor Mahesh is our Dean, Alumni and Corporate Relations, and this studio is the virtual studio or Green Mat studio. It has a special background so people can be surrounded by whatever. You can have oceanographies, whatever you want. The universe can be behind you, and you can take a class. Please go ahead. So the intention of the studio is with the full green background. You can surround yourself with any any audio visual, any visual basically. Yeah, you can stand, and if you remove this table, basically you can surround yourself with anything. I mean, any scenery from anywhere. Yeah, an underwater scene or space scene. Yes. That can be a complete. Yeah. You can have a video playing, which is basically your background. So this is designed for that. So there are no student seating here.
This is almost movie quality.
Yes, this is movie quality production kind of thing. Yes. Yeah, we can take a quick look. So this is the other control room. Identical. Okay.
But it's like it's an action.
So these are representatives of the class of 1982. Mr. Venkatraman Subramaniam, Shankar. So we are now inaugurating the second classroom studio, identical to the one which we just saw, the same 100-seater kind of studio. I request representatives of the class of 1982 who have supported this classroom to please do the honors of cutting the ribbon. Hey. So we now invite you all to the classroom. Please come. So this is identical to the other classroom, same kind of seating, same kind of facilities. Sir, I request you to join us on stage. Mahesh, please come. Oh. Yeah. No, the cushion seat, the official purpose of the cushion seat is to absorb sound. That's the official purpose.
Rao.
Good evening to everyone. Good evening to everyone here and whoever is watching the live streaming of this event too. So we'll start off with the welcome address. It will be given by Professor Andrew Tangaraj. A brief profile about him. He is a professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Madras. He is a coordinator of Nptel since October 2011. And he's been instrumental in initiating the Nptel certification by offering courses online. He's the National MOOCs coordinator for Nptel in the Swayam project. Alumnus of IIT Madras BTech 1998 batch, a PhD from Georgia Tech University. He joined as a faculty in IITM in 2004. He's one of the initiators of IITM's BSc in Programming and Data Science program, the latest initiative from us, and is a coordinator of the program as well. So I invite him to extend the welcome address to everyone present here and those who have joined us on our live streaming.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks to everyone who's here physically and thanks to everyone who's joined virtually as well. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Professor Bhaskar Ramurti, Director of IIT Madras. He's also the chairman of Nptel's Program Implementation Committee, and he's been really giving us good direction on what we should be doing and helping us out, supporting us through tough times and congratulating us when we do good things. So he's been a pillar of support for us. Thank you, sir. I also have great pleasure in welcoming two of the sponsors of these studios. There are two studios that we have here. One studio is sponsored by a class of 1982. To represent that class, we have Mr. Venkatraman Subramaniam, who's here with us physically today. Welcome, sir. And we also have the other studio, which is sponsored by L&T Technology Services. Dr. Keshav Panda, CEO and MD of L&T Technology Services. He's here with us virtually, joining us on VC. You can see him on the screen right there. Thank you very much. Welcome, sir. Also joining us on stage is Professor Mahesh Panchagnola. He's Dean for Alumni and Corporate Relations at IIT Madras. He's the man who's been quietly doing work behind the screens, behind the scenes, and getting us all the funding that we need for building these fantastic infrastructure. Thank you very much for your support. And I would also like to welcome everyone who's present here. We have chairman of our Continuing Education Center, Professor Devendra Jalihal, who's here in person. I would also like to welcome members of the engineering unit. Quite a few of them are here, and without their support, this place wouldn't have been built up. I would like to welcome the coordinators of Nptel. There are 4 coordinators today. You can see the sense of how much it has grown. There are 4 coordinators. There's Professor Pratap, there's me, and then Professor Vignesh, who's here, Vignesh Muthuvijayan of Biotech Department, IIT Madras, and Professor Niket Kaisare is also here. And I would also like to welcome among the people who are watching this remotely, all the faculty who are involved in creating content for Nptel. Nptel started, as you know, in all the way back in year 2000 or so as a very small project. Slowly, we started creating content. In about 20 years now, more than 2,000 courses have been created. And particularly the last 7 years have been very fruitful. We've offered online courses with certification. Every semester today, we offer more than 500 courses, and 20 lakh students across the country do these courses, and more than 2.5 lakh students every semester write exams and earn certificates from IIT and further their careers, etc. So it's been a tremendous scaling up that we've been able to do, and this wouldn't have happened without the support of the institute, support of sponsors, and support of everybody involved. As some of you may recall, a few years back, April 12th, 2017 to be precise, our older studios burnt down in a fire. In spite of all the safety precautions that we take, there was a fire and burnt down. And this new studio has sort of taken the place of that. And in spite of fires and so many other setbacks, Nptel has always grown in strength and numbers. And some of the important people behind that is the dedicated staff that we have under the leadership of Bharti. I would like to welcome all the staff of Nptel who are here amidst us. Once again, I would like to welcome all the audience members who are watching this on the live streaming. NPTEL team in other offices of NPTEL. NPTEL is an inter-IIT project, as many of you know. We have 7 different older IITs and IISc where there are offices, and I would like to welcome them who are here. Definitely the faculty who teach courses on NPTEL. I think I have to mention them especially because all this is for them. They have to come here, teach, and benefit from this and help out everyone who's interested in learning. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome learners of NPTEL, members of the local chapter colleges who are maybe watching this program. Welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. Next, I would like to call upon Professor Mahesh. Professor Mahesh Panchagnala, he is a professor in the Department of Applied Mechanics. He's the Dean of Alumni and Corporate Relations at IIT Madras. He's also a BTech from IIT Madras, batch of 1992, obtained his PhD from Purdue University. He's a faculty associate of IIT Madras Incubation Cell and National Center for Combustion R&D. Welcome.
Good afternoon and welcome to this evening's function. It's remarkable to see IIT Madras go through this evolution from being a very prestigious place to study when I graduated in 1992 to this really swanky world-class teaching facility, which has now been materialized thanks to the support of a lot of well-wishers. Teaching and good teaching, student-centered teaching is part of the very DNA of IIT Madras. Thousands of alumni that I talk to vouch for it, that their lives have been impacted for the better, thanks to professors here who went out of the way to make their stay at IIT Madras, their learning process at IIT Madras, a little more fruitful and comfortable for them. Facilities such as this take that DNA to the world outside. We are now, through programs like NPTEL, through programs like the BSc online BSc in Programming and Data Science, able to take that culture to the country at large and possibly the world. Facilities such as this are essential to make that transition in a seamless and in a scaled fashion. I particularly want to thank the support of the class of 1982 who have helped us create the studio that we are in right now. I also want to acknowledge the efforts of our Vice President in our Office of Institutional Advancement, Sujata, who has diligently worked with the class to help them create this facility. I also want to thank Dr. Keshav Panda, Dr. Ms. K.N. Prabhakaran, Anuradha Basu from LNTTS for supporting this initiative. This is going to be a game changer for students and learners in the country at large. And I also want to acknowledge the efforts of Priya Sundaram, a Senior Vice President in our Office of Institutional Advancement, who has been very diligently working with LTTS against nearly impossible deadlines to make this facility happen for us. Thank you, sirs. Thank you for all your efforts and thinking of us to make this happen. Lastly, while we are all in this studio that's going to create a learning world for the students out there and a teaching world for the professors here, the scale-up process going forward cannot happen without well-wishers like LTTS and the class of 1982. Please do not stop with just being financial supporters of these, of the creation of these facilities. Please embrace the students that are going to come through the program, mentor them, help them be more successful citizens and individuals and positive contributors to the society. There are many ways by which you can become partners in this whole learning process for the students and in these programs, both in NPTEL as well as the BSc program. We welcome you to explore those opportunities as well. Thank you again, and we look forward to a long and fruitful partnership with both the contributors. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mahesh. Mr. Venkatraman Subramanian is here with us, representing the class of 1982 of IIT Madras, which has been generous enough to contribute to the building of these studios. Mr. Venkat is currently the VP of Engineering Hitachi Vantara. He has been with Oracle for about 13 years and in various senior leadership positions in companies like Spicesource, Data Guys, Waterline Data in the USA in the last couple of years. We invite him now to say a few words.
Thank you for saying just a few words, and I'll keep it to a few words. First of all, I'm honored to represent the class of 1982. And I just start with a small story here. I've been thinking about, what we are doing here, and it kind of takes me back about, almost 44 years when some of my cohorts here are in the audience. And when we walked into the campus, we actually had really no notion of what life is going to be like. Over the next 5 years, we got about the best education possible, and that no amount of money can buy, right? So, and truth be told, we also didn't pay very much. I mean, thinking about the semester fees and the room rent and also the hostel mess fees and so on and so forth. At that point, I don't think any of my classmates even gave any kind of thought to how this was possible, right? How this education was being provided to us. But when we went into the real world, we realized that education is really a big business, and especially quality education can cost a lot. Right? That's when it hit us that somehow somebody made that possible. That's actually all the faceless people of India. So that's when you kind of realize that for all that they have done to you, you need to do something in return, right? So which is kind of what brings us here to to this place as well. So the challenge when you have such a sentiment is to actually find a channel that is trustworthy and is also doing a service that's kind of apt for what you have in mind. And I have to say that IIT Madras actually kind of meets all of those requirements 100%, right? And there are so many options. And so a couple of years ago, for the 35th year of anniversary for the graduation, on campus, some of us got together and we were talking about, again, giving back. And we were not quite satisfied with what we had done, after the 25th. So that's how this whole exercise started. So we started looking at, what is it that we can contribute towards. So the one thing we kind of settled on is a water center that was, I think, coming up at the other campus. And as you all know, between climate and environment, those are uppermost in everybody's mind. But water is a big thing. It's quite possible that there could even be like a World War III, right? Just on water. So until that moment, we thought that's what we would actually be funding. And we had known about Nptel. It's not like we didn't. But then we just heard that there was a fire that gutted the entire studio. Then it's almost like, just flipping a switch. We said, that's the one we should really focus on. And why is that? That Nptel, Mahesh was talking about this, and Professor Tangraj was actually talking about this as well, is that the education that we all get here, to just a select few, it's now being made available to the entire country, right? Anybody outside can get this. So that kind of brings this one full cycle, circle for me. So that best education that no amount of money can buy is not available to anybody who actually has the inclination to reach out and learn. So that's what Nptel does. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pratap, I think between 30 and 40,000 faculty around the country also take courses in this. That means they're also upping, their own skills. So we all hear about how some of the colleges produce students who are really not fit for employment. I may be using somewhat of an extreme terms, but it's somewhat true. But I think this kind of availability of courses to those students can only up the levels at which they're going to graduate. So what Nptel has actually done is really raise the level of technical education in India. Right? So what started, I guess, as a vision for Professor Anant is now, I think, Professor Bhaskar Ramurti's mission to actually raise it multiple levels. So that's what we're seeing now. So it is definitely an honor for us. And then actually, I would like to thank the Institute for giving us this opportunity. So thank you all.
Dr. Keshav Panda is the CEO and Managing Director of L&T Technology Services. His bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering is from Anna University, Chennai, postgraduate degree in aerospace engineering from IISc Bangalore, and PhD from the IIT Bombay in aero servo elasticity. Dr. Panda has over 31 years of experience in research, conceptualizing, creating, operationalizing, and turning around complex technology and engineering businesses. Dr. Panda was recognized as CEO of the Year for 2019 by news channel CNBC Awaaz in recognition of his contributions to the engineering and technology sectors over the last 3 decades. L&T is also another big donor, as we've heard previously. for the construction of our studios. Over to Dr. Panda.
Good evening, Professor Ramurti and all the professors. Before I say anything, I want to first compliment you all the professors in IIT and outside. What a great job you do. Nation building requires the education, good education. I think this is something you are doing a commendable job. I'm here in New Jersey today, and I was about to become a professor, but life has taken a different direction.
The audio is not yet. We're having some issue with audio. We request you to just wait for a moment.
Sorry, am I audible or no?
The problem is at their end, Dr. Panda. They are fixing it.
Their end. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Because I can hear you. I think it's at their end.
Some issue
Okay.
in the hall.
Are we audible now? Can you hear us in the studio?
Yeah. Can you please? Am I audible?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Am I audible?
Sir, I'm sorry. Just please hold for a moment.
Sure.
They're not ready at all. No testing has been done. Nothing has been done. I don't understand. Very embarrassing. I don't want to be.
Yeah,
Sir, hello, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
All right, sir. Just a moment, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, sir. I'm just
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Shall I start now?
They're not still
Priyank, whether Dr. Panda can start now? Is he audible now?
Yeah, he's audible, sir. He's audible. I'm just changing it to another amplifier. 1 minute.
Doctor, get started.
Sorry?
Please get started.
Okay. Okay. Professor Ramurti, good evening, all of you. Professor Ramurti, Director, IIT Madras, and all the professors. Before I say anything, I want to first salute you, all the professors in IIT and outside. You have a big role in nation building. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and whatever we are today, nation is today all because of your contribution. Lastner Tubro is a company we have been involved last 80 plus years in nation building. I always joke when I go to any customer around the world. I've been here last 22 years now, and you can't go to India without touching L&T. The airport you land built by L&T, the road you drive built by us, the power supply, the hotel you stay is by Lastner Tubro. And earlier days, you know, the circuit breaker or the meters used in hotel built by L&T, and the car you drive, the refinery built by L&T, the petrol pump when you go to gas station you go to by Larsen Tubro. This company Larsen L&T Technology Services we built around 2009, and I used to be a scientist in ISRO INSAT to satellite. We work in LCA program after my education. I'm very closely associated with Indian Institute of Science. We do a lot of work in IAC as well as in IIT Madras as well, engineering work, technology work. I always believed next 100 years is for India. Now, the average age of India is 28 years, 29 years, compared to the Western world, 39 to 40 years, and China is also of the same range. The two areas we need to focus as a country, one is education, and second one is the healthcare. Education and healthcare is so important for Indian, system now. There are a lot of people, we see the stock market, we see people in Mumbai, Chennai, and Bangalore. There are a lot of people below poverty still. So it is important that if you want life you touch, educating them in a village, and we transform complete India as a whole. I see India 20 years ago, 30 years ago, every time go and come back and look at it. And same thing true in America as well. You will see New York and SFO, San Francisco. We always talk about how US is the biggest country, richest country in the world. I have gone to the remote area in America. They are no different from what is in India. So I think as a human being, forget about whatever role we play. We have a responsibility, and nothing can replace education. And I remember my father used to say, I come from a village and I was in Chennai. I've seen 40 Tamil movies. I can speak Tamil as well. I have been there in Chennai for a long time. But let me tell you, my father used to say, education is number one. Nobody can take what you learn. So I think that brought us to all the children, all my siblings, everybody did very, very well. And I'm very passionate about the engineers. I have 17,000 employees today. Every time I talk to engineers, do you know engineering? Do you know engineering? Today, unfortunately, more than teaching students, I believe Nptel can help the faculty in different engineering colleges. A lot of faculty, I think they need education more than students need. Hundreds of engineering colleges around India today, And those faculty, if you don't have quality education, they do not give the students, I don't think future looks so good. So my request to, I think this is an excellent initiative. I got a call from Prabhakaran and said, I have been very closely associated with Indian Institute of Science, for quite some time now. And Prabhakaran called me and said, IIT Madras, there is something like this opportunity we have. Do you want to do that? I said, please go ahead. Education and healthcare, any opportunity comes. We have a lot of ambulances we have donated. We do a lot of work. But money giving is one thing. But engineering and technology using for the benefit of people, betterment of people, I think we all have a responsibility. We are very fortunate to be what we are today. But I think all of us in this, and especially the professors in IIT, and you guys are doing it. I've seen a lot of professor association with professors in IIT, IIC. I've gone to IIT Kanpur, very recently. We do some work with them as well. And I think it's doing an amazing job. I think the future of India, more than anything, anybody else, depends on you. And you are doing an amazing job, selflessly, very passionately, what you do, keep it up. And industry collaboration, I think much more has to be done. You need to be much more. And today, I see IIC director is much more involved. We had a committee earlier, Randurai was there, Professor Director IIC was also there. So a lot more we can do. Money is not a problem today. I don't think money is a problem. Companies are doing well and willing to support, but we support in the right place and not support, give the money to people, but create something where the future looks good. So it's a great honor to be here on behalf of my 17,000 employees in 30 countries around the world. It's a great honor. And thank you very much for this opportunity. And we look forward to associating ourselves with you, IIT Madras, for a long term, not just this initiative, but much more exciting work in engineering and technology we can do together, which will take us to the next level, and India will continue to shine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. Next, we invite Professor Bhaskar Ramurti, Director of IIT Madras, who's also the chairman of the Nptel project. He started writing a profile for him. Then we said, okay, he needs no introduction, so we're not going to introduce him today. So he can come and share.
Thank you very much. Am I audible, Dr. Panda?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. So, and all the others, maybe there are other people from class of 1982 also watching. So on behalf of the institute and all my colleagues and all students, known and unknown of Nptel, I want to first straight away thank L&T Technology Services and the class of 1982 for their generous contribution to make this classroom for Nptel possible. See, we have always had studios. In fact, we had one classroom like this, I think, before the thing got burned down, which was not built for this. It was built as a normal classroom, but got converted to Nptel studio. And we now need to actually create the facility where more teachers can offer an Nptel course, even while they teach their regular class here. Otherwise, you have to do it separately. You have to. These two rooms actually enable that, and we can run 4, 5, 6 courses a day. So this enables straight away something like 12, 15 courses a year, a semester, to be taught simultaneously to the class of at IIT and to students at large. We will create more such facilities as we need them. So that is really the crux of this facility. Just to teach online, you don't need such a big classroom. Small studios enough. And as people have pointed out, I think the Nptel program, which is jointly run by the IITs, IISc, and a few other institutions have chipped in also, is a very, very major program. Many things in India, when we do things at scale, we don't talk about it too much. Others don't realize it. Okay. People talk about a lot of, this is true of everything, whether it's Kumbh Mela or whether it is Nptel, right? Or even UPI. So this is really happening at scale. And different students and colleges are benefiting from it to the level they need. And I think therefore it's sort of offered like an a la carte, and people take what they want. We have partnerships with almost 2,000 institutions. We call them local chapters. We therefore have feedback loops. We understand what they get, what they don't get. It's not that we just broadcast it and forget about it. It's not like that. 4,000. So I'm not kept track. We have not had a review meeting recently. So I think the point is we are therefore actually the IIT system therefore is connected very closely to the engineering education, science education system in the country. There are only 30,000 colleges in the country. We already have 4,000 who are partners. So you can see the level of connect. Okay. And now we have launched this online BSc program. So that's really the learnings from all of this, figuring out how to do this right. We are now reaching out to students across the country and maybe across the world ultimately to offer them a really high quality degree program in something that will also be a knowledge and skill set which will also make them highly employable. And it's early days, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but it looks very good. Looks like we are on the right track. And I'm very happy that L&T Technology Services has also contributed significant amount for scholarships to students in that program. Because, that program is not subsidized by the government. And in a way, I'm happy it's not. I think we are finding already that I think we'll probably raise more money from philanthropy for supporting those who need than the government ever spent without, in an untargeted fashion over the whole population. So this is actually working out very well. It's very exciting. I think I'm looking forward really to the to very carefully curated online programs, not across the board in everything under the sun, but very carefully curated programs where employment potential is high, where interest among the students is high, and where we can therefore reach out and provide to people all over the country and anywhere actually a very high quality education. We are also learning how to do it, combination of face-to-face meetings as well as online lectures. We're not ideologically bound that it has to be only online or only this, only that. We'll use whatever works, but I think we'll get the thing right. So I'm very thankful to L&T Technology Services supporting both this classroom as well as that scholarships for the needy students in that program. Class of 1982, what can I say? They're all, just 2 years behind me. I am the class of 1980. I know many of them personally. I hosted a few of them and I was a student in the US when they landed up there. This class is close to me. So I'm very glad they took this opportunity to be part of this, to actually sponsor one of these Nptel classrooms, and very grateful to them. I look forward to their engagement in any way. Funding is one part of it, but actually in different ways to engage with us, to engage with the students of the upcoming generation. This is the next 20 years. I think Dr. Panda talked about 100, but 100 is too long. Next 20 years are going to transform the face of this country. And it's very difficult. I mean, I just look back at the last 20 years and see how little of what has happened I foresaw. I just extrapolated what was 1990 like and thought a little bit faster, a little bit better. Never understood what was going on. And therefore, never really planned my own outlook, what was going to happen. We should make that mistake twice. I think we should understand what is going to happen in this country in the next 20 years and make our own outlook and our own focus of activities such that it aligns maximally with that, so that we can do our little bit for the country before we go. So in that sense, I would say all of us are at a very exciting point in time. People younger than us are even more at the right point in time in this country. And therefore, I thank the class of 1982 also for this wonderful gesture. We are actually going to, there's a huge ambience improvement program of the Institute now as part of the Institute of Eminence. In fact, all the old, all the buildings built in the 60s, the big buildings are all going to be air conditioned centrally. Classrooms are going to be air conditioned also. So most of the classrooms in which class of 1982 and class of 1992 and class of 1980, all of us learned, I'm relieved that I'm not having to teach in these classes. These are frightening. I like the old class where with a chalk piece in hand and a blackboard I can walk about and teach, but not used to this. But it's going to change. I think now faculty will want to teach face-to-face, but also want to record everything and put it up on the website. Students want to be able to revisit when they don't understand in class or they slept off in class, as all of us did. Students, it's not going to be the same after this pandemic. When they come back, everybody will expect all the class recordings to be available. Everybody will expect, they'll expect all the pluses that they got from the online education without the negative that, there's no face-to-face. They're going to expect both. So we have to enable. May not be broadcast quality because you don't have to record it for broadcasting, but classrooms, all the classrooms across the institute will have a huge step up. So will the buildings. The buildings are nice buildings. There's no doubt about them. They're all lovely buildings. Structurally, they're very good. But we need to really, we are basically upping the level of finish, the level of support, facilities and so on. We're also finally making them monkey free. So no monkeys in classrooms anymore. Okay, becoming too much to allow what we used to have when we were students. Now the faculty are complaining, the students are complaining, so they're all going to become monkey proof. Monkeys are going to be on campus, not in the classrooms. Okay, so thank you again. We are a very close partner of L&T in many programs in the civil engineering department, and we run programs with them. Do a lot of joint work with them on lean manufacturing, lean construction, and other things. So the L&T group is a very close partner in any case. They're very pleased that they have significantly in this program also the class of 1982. We thank all of you. Thank all of you for coming. This is the first face-to-face program I am participating in after the lockdown started last year.
Thank you, sir. Coming down to the last part where we would like to thank the multitudes of people who helped make these studios happen. I'd like to call upon Professor Pratap Haridas. He is a professor in the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering in IIT Madras. He did his BTech in Metallurgical Engineering from IIT Madras batch of 1992. He got his PhD from University of Wisconsin-Madison, USA. He's a coordinator of Nptel and the IITM BSc program. He's been a key factor in the studios which we see here today, right from the design stage, working with architects, finalizing every component of furniture and equipment that you see here, ensuring that the work is completed on time by helping coordinate between the various vendors and stakeholders involved. He has been literally on the site the last, I think, 1 week or 10 days from when we finalized this date, and he's been driving everybody saying that we have to complete. I mean, we had to mention this because he has been one driving force for getting these studios up and running and be ready for the inaugurations today. So, Pratap, we have thanked you. You can thank the others.
So once again, good evening, everyone. I apologize for the audio problems we had a little while earlier while trying to connect up to the CEO of L&T Technology Services. It's my pleasure to propose vote of thanks. I'm doing this on behalf of the Nptel community, the Nptel office and staff here at IIT Madras, as well as all the Nptel offices across the country. We have several of them and the Nptel student community, the local chapter community, all of whom have a stake in this activity. So I would like to begin first of all by thanking our supporters, the L&T Technology Services and the class of 1982. Today there are a lot of various causes that are worthy of support, truly worthy of support, and so we are particularly happy that you have chosen to support us in a journey that we have been along for a while, and there's a lot of distance to go. So we are really thankful to you for taking the time and the effort to look through what we are doing and deciding that this is something that is worthy of support. At the institute, we have had a lot of support. Professor Bhaskar Ramurti, as Andrew mentioned, he's the chairman of our program implementation committee. He encourages us, gives us lots of new ideas. I mean, naturally, being a director, it's a very tight schedule, but still, he's the person where you can meet him in an elevator and he'll quickly give you an idea that is worth looking at a moment's notice, and you're always taken by surprise by that. I would like to thank Dean Academic Courses, Professor Jagdish Kumar, because when this studio was being thought about, he quite readily gave us these 3 classrooms. We are kind of running full capacity in all our classrooms, and these classrooms had to be kind of stopped from regular activity so that we could actually do some work on them. Dean Planning, Professor Liji Philip, who has been supporting the entire construction activity. There's a lot of construction on campus, and so to support every new activity takes a lot of effort. We thank her for that. Dean Alumni and Corporate Relations, Professor Mahesh Panchagnala. He has been actually goading us that we have not really publicized our work enough, and he always says that you should really showcase your work more. There are a lot of people really keenly interested in providing support, and we need to do more to reach out to them. He and his team have worked quite hard to help us present our activities outside. I would like to thank the engineering unit chairman, Professor Robinson. He has personally come here several times, including sat in the furniture, given his comments, telling us that this is not enough length and all that. So that level of detail he's participated in this process. I thank him for that. From the engineering unit, Mr. Manika Vasagam, Mr. Ajay, and Mr. Ravi Chandran. I have endlessly called them on phone many times, and regardless of the time of the day, they have been happy to reach out to me and tell me what can be done, what cannot be done, and how it can be done. And so I'm really thankful to all three of them for that continuous support. Our contractors, a lot of contractors worked here. I briefly wanted to mention it. SV Constructions, who did the civil works here. InSpace, which did the furniture work here. Visual Technologies, which did all the audio visual equipment installation. The carpeting from Matrix. Electrical work, actually we had a lot of electrical work through the last few days. Mr. Shekhar and Mr. Narayanaswamy Purushottam, who did a lot of work for us. The signage, all the signage that you see here from new design display. And the overall person who kept track of all of this, Ms. Kalai Selvi from Mac Architects. She's put in a lot of effort. The entire studio look, the feel, the layout of the furniture, the selection of the furniture. At every stage, she has been involved with us, and she has given a lot of input. So everything you see here, from the first drawing that was seen to actually delivering it at this level, we thank her for all those efforts to her and her team. Finally, I would like to thank Mr. Kanan Krishnamurthy and Mr. Sagar Ratnakar. He's the last several days he's been here. In fact, last night he was here till I think 4 in the morning to just finish up all the final activities here. And incidentally, I think today is his birthday, so he's somewhere here. So we wish him a very happy birthday on this occasion, and for being with us at midnight on his birthday until 4 a.m. on his birthday. So thank you very much. And I would like to close, of course, by thanking Ministry of Education and MHR, which was previously MHRD. They have been supportive of this program now almost approaching 20 years, consistently supporting us, consistently giving us more to do, challenging us, and going along in this journey with us. So I thank you once again, all of you, for joining us this evening on this pleasant occasion, and I thank you for all the support. Thank you very much.
Dr. Panda, I just wanted to thank you again for attending this event. And I wanted to also see if Mr. Prabhakaran is also online, along with Aniruddha Basu. Hello, sir. Thank you for working against near impossible deadlines. Thank you very much for making this happen. I was going to suggest that one of these days you should come have your own leadership meeting in the LNTTS studio. We can beam you to the world from here, and we have the best facilities. Please come use this facility as your, our campus is a resort in itself. So please come stay on our campus and have a leadership team meeting with this as your facility. We welcome you and we look forward to having you on campus, sir.
Thank you, sir. Look forward to. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank Mr. Prabhakaran. Thank you again very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We conclude this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.